This Oklahoma Sooners defender just can't catch a break.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to Locked On Sooners, and thank you for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. He's Jay Smith of Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, on YouTube for more Oklahoma Sooners and college football coverage. I'm John Williams of Sooners Wire and USA Today Sports. On today's show, we got final predictions for Oklahoma versus Alabama. Friday fan feelings. We know you're excited about that. You love it every week. And we'll go through our keys to victory for the Sooners. But we got to start with the latest injury update. Jay, we've got a big surprise as of Thursday night. Gentry Williams, cornerback, showed up on the injury report on Thursday, was not on it on Wednesday. He is doubtful for Saturday's game at Alabama.
Yeah, my assumption on this one is he had to tweak the shoulder. He's been dealing with that for the last couple of years, had shoulder surgeries and dealing with some stuff. Tweaked it a few games ago. Was it Temple when he fell? And he played Auburn. He's been back a little bit for Tennessee, and he talked to the media this week, and you thought that he was going to make his valiant return, and he must have tweaked something in practice, and here we are on the doubtful sheet. Hopefully that's just a precautionary piece. Hopefully he feels better, because we could really use him going up against these big-time receivers at Alabama. But besides that, not much else changed if you really look at it.
No, it's all a lot the same. R. Mason Thomas still questionable. Jaden Jackson, unfortunately, questionable on this week's injury report. Those are going to be the two names to watch over the Friday and the Saturday availability reports. It's not great when two of your best defensive linemen are out. And thankfully, Oklahoma has really good depth along their defensive line.
Great competitive depth is the only reason why I'm not super concerned about this. Now, yes, you want R. Mason Thomas playing, you want Jaden Jackson playing, you want some of your best guys. But remember, when you go look at the snaps, like I jump into PFF and look, Jaden Jackson played 39 snaps against Tennessee, and I think that's the game where he kind of probably tweaked something. But when you look at the rest, David Stone played 46, Grayson Holm played 42. You got Marcus Strong in for 9. And then when you go through the list of players, for Tennessee, R. Mason didn't finish, but Taylor Wine finished that game with 7 pressures, the tops in the SEC. So you've got a lot of dudes. PJ Adebawore had that tackle for loss to stop Joey Aguilar on that third down, which is still one of my favorite plays of his. Busted right through and immediately grabbed him and tossed him down. So you've got Daniel Okoye got a sack in that game too. Marvin Jones Jr. is coming along. My point, you still got a good amount of dudes that you're excited about because Brent Venables and this staff rotates so many guys so often. They're all getting not just regular snaps, they're getting mission critical snaps.
Yeah.
And to me, that is a difference maker as far as how it means for us when it comes to if you have a situation where somebody goes down. Knock on wood, we have done well overall in the injury bug outside of right now. We're dealing with an R. Mason situation and Jaden, but we're able to rotate somebody else in. Same thing with Gentry Williams, but you could rotate somebody else in and be fine. Jacoby Johnson's been doing good at corner as of late. I try not to say too much about him because I don't want to jinx it. I've been excited about the kid since he got here, so I'm just hoping he just continues. But Cortland, Eli, throw out there Jacoby, who's super athletic. You've got some dudes that should be able to be competitive in that space. So I'm happy to see Keontez Lewis is back up to the probable stage. So you'll probably get to see him because him and Mateer had a thing going.
Yeah, that's an important progression on the injury front for Oklahoma because you just haven't gotten enough out of your third wide receiver. Isaiah Satania has been really, really good. Deion Burks has had some good moments. You just haven't been able to find enough consistency with that third guy. Well, Keontae Lewis was the one that was playing the best in the first 3-4 games of the season. He's just had two really scary moments in the first half of the year. What was it? The Temple game. And then he also had not Auburn, Kent State. It was Kent State.
Yeah.
So against Temple and against Kent State, he had some really scary moments.
And in Texas.
Yeah. And then Texas is just, when he gets hurt, it's not for the faint of heart. So it's good to see him probable heading towards potentially playing in this one. And I think he'll make an impact on the defensive line thing. This is what you've been building toward, is having a group of defensive linemen that if one guy is out or even two guys are out, you're not so destroyed in your depth that you can't go make plays. You've got three really good edges in, PJ Adebawore and Marvin Jones Jr. and Taylor Wine. I mean, Danny Okoye has flashed. He just hasn't played enough to feel 100% confident that he's ready to step into a big time role yet. But you have three other guys that have played a lot of snaps for you. Okoye's got all the ability to go be a difference maker. Taylor Wine, he's tied with R. Mason Thomas for total pressures, according to PFF. He's got more stops, according to PFF. He has been one of your best players on that defense. Marvin Jones Jr., a veteran. Again, PJ Adebawore, he's got all the talent in the world, just has to unlock it. On the interior, you have the best interior defensive line group in the nation, not just one or two guys. It's 4 deep. And when we've seen Marcus Strong play, he's played well. So you've got some guys that you can count on and you can trust to go play significant snaps. And if it's more of a 3-man rotation with Marcus Strong kind of getting a little bit of the action, I still feel really good about it. If it's Dominic Williams and Grayson Halton and David Stone, I feel great about that 3-man rotation. And then again, Marcus Strong kind of getting a little bit of reps in there just to spell Dominic Williams at the nose. You're still cooking with fire, man, or cooking with gas.
Yeah, you are. You're definitely cooking with gas. And remember, I mean, Jayden missed a game this season or whatnot. He's probably 4th on the list in snap counts when it comes to these players in the interior. So it's okay. You want him. Not saying that it's a good thing that he's out, because you definitely want him out there because he's a great. He fills space well. He does a great job of moving and stopping the run, as well as getting to the quarterback. He does a great job of getting sacks. I mean, he was our leader at one point at 3. He was making me look good because I was thinking that those edges were going to push him right to him and he was going to take advantage, and he did. But him not playing is going to be okay. I mean, Taylor Wine leads your team in total pressures at PFF at 25. Him and R. Mason are tied, with G Baby right behind him at 21 and Stone at 20. You've got those dudes playing. So I think you'll be okay with there. Like I said, Marvin Jones Jr., he has 11 total pressures with 2 sacks, some hurries. So you've got a lot of guys that will contribute, because you've played a ton of players on the defensive side of the ball. Thank goodness that Brent Venables is the type to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to play.
Yeah. And I don't want to say this too. Obviously, missing a guy like R. Mason Thomas is going to be a factor.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not as big a factor as it would have been last year. I mean, we didn't have him 2 years ago playing significant snaps for this team, and it was part of the problem. It was part of the defense's issue. You didn't have somebody that was a legit pass rusher. So yes, it's a factor, no doubt about it. It's just that you feel a lot better about your edge group now than you did a year ago, even without R. Mason Thomas. And that's the difference. Is Miguel Chavis, Brent Venables, Todd Bates, they've done a great job at building the depth and developing that depth to where, okay, yeah, man, sucks. R. Mason Thomas is a top 50 NFL draft pick next year. Losing a guy like that, or potentially not having a guy like that on your defense, has an impact. But you believe in the development that you've seen out of these other guys, that you think, okay, it's not going to completely kill them.
Yeah, we would have been very sad last season on his injury. That would have made me be like,
well, and you think about it. I mean, he only played for half of the first quarter against Tennessee.
Yeah, that's my
your
point.
Defense got better along the way. So I think
Taylor Wine
finished to be optimistic about.
Right. Taylor Wine finished that game, like I said, with 7 pressures from PFF. He was tops in the SEC, I think tops in the country.
Yeah.
So, I mean, by himself, that's just his, not
Yep.
everybody else's.
Right.
Just him. So he was a terrorist out there too. You're going to get that. You're going to get him terrorizing people. I think that the challenge for Bama is going to be them not knowing which player is going to be the biggest factor for them to have to watch out for as we keep switching dudes out. Daniel Okoye grades very well right now. I mean, in his 7 games, he's graded up very high, and he's gotten his 4 pressures and he's gotten his 2 sacks. And I think that this is the opportunity for him to break out, mainly because Alabama really wanted him when he was a recruit. Like, they really wanted him. Nick Saban, he was an MVP at their camp. That's how big of a deal he was. Just understand. They know who he is. That's the staff that's still there. They know who he is.
Yeah. It's going to be something to watch in this game, how Oklahoma is able to get pressure with their front four, because they're going to want to play some coverage, but they will blitz. Brent Venables does not know how to coach defense without blitzing. He will blitz, but they've also been great at getting pressure and getting sacks without blitzing. So that's going to be definitely an X factor to watch. What are some other keys to the game for Oklahoma at Alabama? We'll discuss coming up here on Locked On Sooners. It's almost the weekend, which means it's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win Saturday or every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down. Hey, for Oklahoma, the Big 12 delivered in a big way. The BYU team losing by 3 scores, that just kind of cracked the door open a little bit for the Big 12 to turn into a 1-bid college football playoff league, and maybe a 3-loss SEC team gets into the playoff. When the pressure was on, hey, Texas Tech came through, BYU, not so much. But if you've been watching week after week, maybe that performance wasn't necessarily a fluke when you got a true freshman quarterback out there for the Cougars. And just like BYU delivered for Oklahoma, providing an opportunity for the Sooners to maybe sneak in with a 3-loss season, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday you order. Stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period through 11/18. Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, and now the #1 sports podcast network in the industry. So, Jay, offensively, what is a key to victory for the Oklahoma Sooners?
It's really going to be big for John Mateer to be patient, be consistent with his throws, really go through his progressions, really set his feet when he makes his throws. I mean, I know the off kilter tight passes that he likes to make, side arms, the jumping, those work as you're in the groove. Get in the groove first. So to me, it's going to be him getting into a groove, because they're going to force him to throw the pass. If we run the ball, we'll be fine. Like, I think that we should be able to get Xavier Robinson at least 20 carries. We need Torrey Blaylock to get about 15 and John Mateer to get about 10. If we can run the ball about 50 times in this game and just run it just bam, 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 nonstop, that should be able to help us in a big way. So I think that, to me, is the biggest key on the offensive side of the ball is run the ball. John Mateer get into a groove, run the ball some more.
Yeah, running the football is definitely going to be an important aspect of this. We've been talking about it for weeks, especially on the road. This is how you take the crowd out of the game. You go on long, sustained drives. You make them uneasy. You take the game over. You keep their offense on the sideline that allows them, or that doesn't allow the crowd to get into it with big plays and touchdowns and points and all that stuff. If Oklahoma can take a page out of last year's playbook and run the ball and run it effectively, it's going to give them a great opportunity. In addition to that, as you talked about with John Mateer, this needs to be the return of John Mateer. This needs to be a game where he goes and he plays really well and reminds everybody of the guy that we saw early in the season. Does he have to do it all? No, he doesn't have to do it all, but he has to be efficient. He has to be able to hit on some downfield throws to soften up that Alabama defense a little bit, take the pressure off the running game, and put them in some manageable third downs. You don't want to be playing, second and long, third and long all game on the road. That's really, really tough for any offense to do. But if he can just deliver, in a big time moment, it's going to give Oklahoma an opportunity to win this game. He doesn't have to be everything for this team, but he certainly has to be good for this team to go get a big road win.
And I think that worries me the most is the thought process that he needs to be everything.
Yeah,
he needs to be a key point of it. Yeah. So you're exactly right. You don't have to do everything, dog. Just go out there, play your game, but get into a groove passing it, because you're gonna have to. They're gonna try to load the box. Mm-hmm. They're gonna force you to. This is really if there's a game to me that should be a big one for a player, it's Jaren Kanak. Yeah. This is the Kanak game. You just go out there, go across the middle, you catch them passes, and you start outrunning out athlete them. Mm-hmm. Get the receivers out, spreading them out, get that middle there, boom, hit them across, bow, make that catch at one-hander, plop, flick it to yourself a couple of times, dance with it in the air, go. This is the one where a Jaren Kanak could really be the most impactful because, like I said, the goal on their defensive side of the ball is to make Mateer run, pass the ball. Now, if they decide to go out there and do a 3-man front again and do a 3-3-5 and say, hey, we're just going to try to keep everything in front of us. Oh yeah, you just running down their throat.
Yeah, just
do like you did last year. Mm-hmm. If we can pull off what we did last year again, boy, that will hurt some feelings.
It will. This is one of those games where first play on offense of the game, play action, deep shot. Do it. Just challenge them. See what you're going to get. They're a good secondary, no doubt about it. Take a shot down the sideline, give a guy an opportunity to go make a play. Let him know, hey, we're going to take some shots, so you better be ready. As much as we've talked about the run game, just know you're going to have to be ready on the back end as well. Defensively, Jay, what's the key to the game for you?
You got to get home to Ty Simpson. That's the most important one to me. If there's anything that has to happen in this game, you got to get to Ty Simpson. You got to make him uncomfortable. When he's pressured, I think he completes at like a 50% clip. So he's not completing as well. He's not as automatic. But when he's got time and he's chilling in that pocket, he's like 70-something%. You got to make sure that you are in his face, making him move like he doesn't want to. He needs to see big boys right at his chest as he's trying to release the ball. He will stand tall and throw a very accurate pass, even if you're hitting him. Don't matter. Keep getting there. Keep getting there. Keep getting, because at some point he's going to have to you will get there before, like a David Stone's going to be able to jump that snap, get in between those two, a center and a guard, make his way right to him to where he's going to have to start to figure out to run. And the minute he tries to run, Taylor Wine should be right there. Snatch him up.
He's one of the least pressured quarterbacks in the SEC, and he's very effective when he's not pressured.
Yep.
Oklahoma's pass rush and their defense creates a lot of pressure, and they create it from a lot of different angles. We saw it, with Owen Heineke and Kip Lewis both coming around the edge. Brent Venables and his staff are going to have something schemed up to attack this offensive line at their weakest. So when you get an opportunity to get pressure, get there, get a hit on the quarterback, and make him pay for standing in the pocket. Mm-hmm. If you want to get in his head, that's how you do it. And the other part of this is they are very effective in the short to intermediate game. No missed tackles, or at least very few missed tackles. When you have the opportunity, wrap up, bring your guy down. Do not allow for a lot of yards after the catch because you missed a tackle. Are they going to create yards after the catch? Absolutely they will, because they're just really good. But you can't help them by missing tackles. So this is one of those games that if you're going to get an opportunity, don't just take a big shot and just try to blow a guy up. Wrap him up and let your friends come help you if you can't bring him down on the first contact. Just wrap up and then bring it down. If you're going to have your opportunities for big hits, Reggie Powers, Michael Boganowski, Peyton Bowen, Kip, Kobe, you guys are going to have your opportunities. But when you're there, just wrap it up. Be consistent with the fundamentals. This is a John Mateer thing too. Just be consistent with the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a great opportunity to come out with a win on this one. And the other part of this to me, Alabama's not been great running the football. You got to keep them not great running the football and make them one-dimensional. If you let them start running the ball, that's when the play action pass opens up a whole lot more for them, and it makes them a whole lot more dangerous.
Yeah, my expectation is they better make sure that this dude they're not good at running whatsoever. Yep. And another thing too is that looking at, the way the grades are going, and I use them a little bit, but the statistics tell you enough. Under pressure, 50%, 53.6% completion, and he fumbles. Play action, he fumbles often on play action, and mainly because the defense usually can get to him and force a fumble. He fumbles. He will fumble the ball. And the way he fumbles the ball is because he stands tall in the pocket, ready to throw, similar to the way that Owen Heineke hit Joey Aguilar. Mm-hmm. That's basically what you see out of Ty Simpson in this game. So if you just go hit him before he releases the ball, you got to get home. You get home, got a great shot of turning this game around.
He's not super elusive, and he's not a great runner. So that's less of a threat than what you've had to deal with most of this season. Like almost every game this season, you've had to deal with an effective quarterback runner, except for Tennessee and Joey Aguilar. So take advantage of that. Like take advantage of the fact that you've got a little bit more statuesque quarterback sitting back there. Now, a very good quarterback. Let's not mince words at all. He's very good, but you're going to get an opportunity to put some licks on him. So take advantage. And Cortland Guillory, stand up, my guy. This is your game. This is your time to shine. Eli Bowen did it last year. Your turn to do it this year. Let's go have a big one. We're going to get into Friday fan feelings. Our final predictions coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to watch and ride the hot hand, like, watching my Thunder dominate over the last couple of days, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. So keeping the game exciting, especially when you know your team's going to make that late push, or if your team's just going to blow them out very early in the third quarter. So right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network in the industry. Jay, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Friday Fan Feels. We're going to start with this one from Darren over on YouTube. Can the Sooners do it? Yes, but the Tide get a vote too.
Agreed. That's the key thing in this game is that the Alabama's not going to take this lightly. There's a reason why they made this game their homecoming. They're coming for blood. They're coming for revenge. Mm-hmm. They want that dub. And if they can get it, guess what? Screwed up. Could be a chance that you miss out on the playoffs. But if you win this one, you got a beeline path right into possibly hosting a game in Norman. So these dudes are really excited about that opportunity. And for Alabama, it doesn't even hurt them because they're most likely going to the SEC championship game. And there's a very good chance that if they play Texas A&M and they pull it off, they'll also either get a bye or they'll be hosting the game too. So for Oklahoma, the marbles are there. But at the same time, as Darren mentioned, the Tide get to have a say in this too.
Yeah. You're not an underdog in this one. I mean, you are an underdog, but not nearly as significant as you were last year. You're not sneaking up on this team. They are expecting your best. They saw you go into Knoxville just 2 weeks ago and pull off a win in a game that you weren't expected to win. So you're going to get Alabama's best. You're going to get a fully focused, 100% dedicated to beating the snot out of you, Alabama Crimson Tide. And you're going to get a fan base that is 100% going to be trying to make everything really miserable for Oklahoma's offense. This is an opportunity, though. And Oklahoma's got a team that's capable. Can they pull it off? Yes. Will they pull it off? It's going to come down to the little things, the execution, the small details, and some of the things that Brent Venables harps on all the time, taking care of the football, winning the turnover battle, those things. But again, we saw just 2 weeks ago, this team win the turnover battle by just one, get penalized 11 times, and still pull off a win. So,
speaking of that, think we're in a good situation here. Both Alabama and Oklahoma don't get calls like everybody else do. So we might actually get a very good officiated game for a change.
Are we going to get a Coach Herman Boone? Let the boys play. Let the boys play.
We might actually
kind of a game. Hey, you know what? Honestly, that to me, I love that, because the thing that's hindered Oklahoma's defense more than anything has been pass interference calls.
Yeah.
Like that's given so many teams like extra possessions because they've been called for pass interferences so many times that if those are lessened in this game, I feel pretty good about it. Like I say,
I feel
love
solid. I feel
right.
solid.
This one comes from Nathan on YouTube. If Mateer can play at a high level like he was versus Michigan, and we can get home enough on defense to make Simpson feel rushed, I like our chances on Saturday. Nathan, you're just simpatico right here on the show.
Because he understands that's exactly what Oklahoma needs to do. The most important thing in this game is that you need to make sure that you get home to Ty Simpson.
Yep.
You do it, you're fine. That's what's critical.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. Mateer's got to be good Mateer, and the defense, they got to get home when they pressure the quarterback. This one comes from Josh over on X. We are more than capable of winning this game. The secondary makes me a little nervous with Bama's passing, but if we run the ball and don't beat ourselves, we can pull it off. And Jay, like, I think every secondary feels nervous about facing this Alabama Crimson Tide offense because they've got two of the very best wide receivers in the country. Everybody's going to be nervous, but your secondary has gotten better and better and better as the season's gone along. You've already faced some really good, competent passing offenses, and you've done enough to get wins. And you did enough defensively, especially in the second half against Ole Miss, to have a chance to win. You just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, if you get a bunch of turnovers in this game too, you got a great shot. And look, the secondary looked really good against Tennessee in the end there when they started to really slow down what they were doing, or more so they were forcing them to continue to go underneath. But when they tried to go deep in the first half, you got those two picks. Don't be surprised if they try to bait something similar to where if they get enough pressure on Ty Simpson where he throws it, it wobbles, somebody jumps underneath that bad boy and snatches it up. So we'll be doing that. Alabama's going to want to go deep on us. They're going to want to try to get to that point because they haven't really been able to do it most of the season. We got to make sure that they don't get that. If they do that, we need to have Peyton Bowen over the top, athleticism, boom, snatch up the pick. Heck, maybe Robert Spears-Jennings in a similar situation, or Jaden Hardy, or actually I would like Michael Boganowski and Reggie Powers III. Just go level somebody. Make it hard for them.
Yeah. Hey, we're due for a pick six, and we've had a fumble return for a touchdown. Haven't had a pick six yet. I think we're due. Ty Simpson hasn't thrown an interception in over a month.
And the last time he threw it was against Vanderbilt.
And
this could be a similar one.
It's time.
Just saying, that's a perfect matchup. And the
Everybody's
thing that lost, exactly, and the thing that lost Vanderbilt that game was their turnovers at the wrong time.
Yep. This one comes from a Drake May fan on YouTube. I'm excited. This game will solely depend on how our offense performs. Our defense has not been the problem this year.
Exactly. It's the defense has done its job, and it's done as much as it possibly could. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It hasn't been perfect, but it's done what it needed to do.
Yep.
If we keep doing that, we should be able to pull this out.
Yeah, I feel like, first quarter against Ole Miss, third quarter against Texas, those are really only the bad kind of moments I feel like for this defense. Otherwise, it's been pretty good. This one comes from Rick. Rick over on X. He says, we got to get the run game going or we will get our butts kicked. And no stupid penalties. Ref, do your job and call them holding on the offensive line. We've seen all year.
That's hilarious to think them call holding on them. You're right though.
We need to send our defensive line to the drama department so they can learn how to flail a little bit and unfortunately and grab some of those holding calls.
They kind of have too much integrity. They like to actually go out there and work.
Yeah, they do.
Sucks.
And the refs don't give them the benefit of the doubt there. This one comes, we always have a chance, but in this one we need to play a near perfect game, being last in turnover margin, and Alabama leading the SEC concerns me. Gonna be a good one. That one's from Robert on YouTube. Hey, that's a great point. I mean, the turnover thing is a deal. Oklahoma's not created a lot of turnovers. Alabama's protected the football for the most part. Again, it's one of those statistical realities that could all come crashing down because
Yeah, it is.
it's a new game. This game is not the rest of the season that we've seen. Every game's a new game. And we know that Oklahoma is capable of creating turnovers. They just haven't had a ton of opportunities to do it.
Yeah, they gotta figure out how to just close on something, man.
Yeah.
It's there. The opportunity's there. But you got just close on some.
Get Ty Simpson a little skittish, and that'll help.
Yep.
And then this last one, I think this one is a good one to end on, Jay. This one comes from the evil queen of chaos over on X. She says, I'm feeling like we got to believe in ourselves because no one in the media does. I believe.
That's exactly what I got to say. I said this before. I've said it numerous times on other shows. I'm like, Brent Venables has done what I've asked him to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's proven to me that he can do things.
Yep.
So why do I need him to prove anything to me? Nothing needs to be proven to me because he's already shown me that he can win the games. He's also shown me he can lose the games. But the fact that he's shown me that he can go in and win some of these big games, clutch games, games that need to be won, I'm good. I'm good. I know that it can't. So I can believe. I don't feel like, oh, this is that same moment where we usually lose. We went to South Carolina and won. We went to Tennessee and won. Ole Miss, to me, feels like an anomaly game. I do think that we play them again, we win. But it happens, right? It's just you didn't execute like you needed to. But you go out to Knoxville and you close out on a team who's pretty strong. So in my personal opinion, I've been able to see you do it. So ain't no reason for me to doubt that you can't.
Yep. It would have been really easy for them to let that game in Tennessee get away from them the way that the first half was going, the first quarter was going, but they didn't. They turned it around. They made that game a game and they took a halftime lead on the road in Knoxville, even with the offense only having like 90 something yards of offense.
Right.
So it's a team. And in that second half, the offense was much better. Now, this is a much better defense that they're going up against Alabama, but the offense that Alabama is deploying isn't as good as a whole as Tennessee's offense. So to me, this is a very evenly matched game. Oklahoma has every capability in the world to go win this one. They've played well on the road. They've played well in games that, like you mentioned, they got to win. The pressure's been on since they lost to Ole Miss, and they've risen to the occasion. They beat a tough Tennessee team on the road that was also playing for their playoff lives. So This is an opportunity, again, for Oklahoma to go prove that they are one of the best in the country, and they win this one, and everything's on the table for them, not just to make the playoff, but who knows what else.
Exactly.
So why not Oklahoma?
Why not Oklahoma?
Why not?
This is just as important for Oklahoma as it is for Alabama. And truth be told, it's only important for Alabama because they want revenge because it happened last year.
Yeah.
But as far as implications for anything, this doesn't hurt them. They lose this game. This is not a bad one. This is a okay one. And the good thing for them is they just keep winning and they'll go to the SEC championship and they will still be in the playoffs.
Yep. All right, it's that time for our final predictions. We kind of already did this on the crossover show, but if you haven't watched that, go check that out. Jay and I, we were with Jimmy Stein of Locked On Bama for a great discussion. Even Bama fans enjoyed the discussion. So make sure you go check out the crossover show. It's on your YouTube and on your podcast feeds as well. Jay, what do you got for a final prediction? Oklahoma at Alabama.
I think Oklahoma pulls it out. I'm going to stick to my score. I think it's going to be just like the Georgia game, very close, low-scoring game. I'm going to say we win 23-21, final field goal, Tate, titanium leg, Sandell.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat here, 26-24. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Tate Sandell kick that wins them the game or if it's going to be a defensive stop that wins them the game late, but it's going to be a tight ball game. Like, make sure you've had your Wheaties, that you've hydrated well, because your heart's going to be pounding in this one. You're going to want to get your steps in before, try and find some woo-saw moments leading up to kickoff because it's going to be a nail biter. And I really think it's going to be a good back and forth football game. And it's going to be that one that everybody really, really, really comes to the realization that Oklahoma's for real and that Brent Venables is building something.
Yeah.
Win or lose in this game. Again, it could go either way. I'm believing it's going to be Oklahoma, but it could really go either way. I would not be surprised if Alabama wins a close one. I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma wins a close one. It's just a well matched up game.
It's going to be it. It's going to be a fun, old school, legendary football game. I'm excited.
2 blue bloods, lots of storylines, lots of great players in this one. So can't wait to watch it. We'll be here, or I'll be here after the game live on YouTube to break it all down in our rapid reaction. Jay will be at the game. Maybe we can get a little instant reaction from him via the short that we can throw up there on the YouTubes for you. But then we'll also have the SEC roundtable reaction show on Sunday. So make sure you're tuned in for that live show at 11 a.m. Central Time for that as well. So much great coverage here on the Locked On Network. Also check out Locked On SEC with Chris Gordy. Again, so much phenomenal work that gets done on the #1 sports podcast network in the industry. So follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner.